So we've seen how we can use simple objects to build up some greater whole and build our designs super fast. During the course, we have the Kitbash items within the scene ready to go. But how exactly do we get these objects from one Blender file to another? One very cool way, and probably the simplest of all, is to simply have another version of Blender open, find the object or objects you're looking for, go Control-C, and then go to the version of Blender that you're looking to get your Kitbash items into, and then just go Control-V to paste them right in. Alright, so I have in the hoses and cables section a little something selected here, which is called cables. Not very imaginative there. And this file is just called Kitbash Messing About. I also have another version of Blender open, which is just empty. And if I wanted to populate this with some objects that I have, first I need to think, well, is this coming from another Blender file, or is it something which is an OBJ or an FBX, some kind of 3D mesh file format? Well, if it's coming out of a Blender file, then there's no exporting necessary needed. We can just dive into that Blender file and find the object we need. So working from one Blender file to another Blender file is pretty easy in this case. So we'll just go File and then Append. Navigate to where our blend file is, and there's the Kitbash Messing About file. Dig into there, then you'll find your file structure with all the different things we can append out of that file. And then if I dig into the object directory, this isn't very well organized, it must be said, but there's our cables object. I'm going to select it and then append from the library. Press Alt-G to reset its transforms, bring it to the center of the world. And if we zoom in there, we can see there's our cables in this new scene. All right, so that's from within Blender to another Blender file. How do we get this from inside here into some other application, say? For that, we're going to need some sort of 3D file format, and in the file menu we have our import and export to do exactly that. By the way, if you're missing some things in your import and export, you can take a look at your add-ons, and then over here under import and export you can see a whole load of file formats that aren't actually enabled by default, so you can find the one that you need there potentially. Alright, so with that, let's go File and then export this cable. So I'm going to choose an FBX file and then navigate to where you want to place it. Here I'm going to just label this as cable, and then instead of doing every single thing in the scene, I'm just going to remember to select selected objects, and then everything else I'm going to leave as default, and then I'm just going to press Export FBX. Now let's delete this file and then import an FBX. Already set us to where we had that cable exported to, so I'm just going to select that and then press Import FBX. And there we go. So this is the same object again, but we've basically just exported it and then re-imported it again. And that's how we might get it to other applications, or we might import completely different FBXs that have been constructed from somewhere else and we've found it deep dark into the underbellies of the internet.